24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you can enjoy an inspirational word, commentary, special interviews, and a whole lot of gospel music from Streaming Praise Radio, SPR Live.
You're listening to SPRLIVEFM.com, broadcasting through Fun City Radio FM and Success Radio. This morning, we're going to be having an interview with ELIMU. I'm not going to try to, it's a Swahili word, but I'm not going to try to explain it. But let me tell you a little bit about the people behind ELIMU. ELIMU is a team of professionals from different cultures and spiritual backgrounds united by our authentic passion for improving lives by facilitating self-directed learning, especially for those from vulnerable situations. Each of those serving children in Kenya, my apologies. Each of those serving children in Kenya does so from a living Christian faith. ELIMU readily serves all faith backgrounds without service. And the founder and president is Nina Chung. That's whom we're speaking to. And we're also speaking to Cynthia Amundi. I had to check myself to make sure I get the stuff right. Cynthia Amundi, and we have them all live with us this morning. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. Thank you so much for being with us this morning.
We're happy to be here.
Who do I start with first? Let me start with Nina. Nina, tell us a little bit about yourself and this organization.
Sure. I'm a Guyanese like you that came to Canada at the age of 7, grew up here, and was educated here, and eventually decided to take a break from my business, which was marketing consulting at that time in 2004, and do a volunteer posting over in Kenya for a couple of years. And that is where life took a very sharp turn and headed in a much different direction. I started taking some kids to school, 2 young boys, James and Joseph, got them into kindergarten. Cost me about $50 to make that happen. And I began to realize how important our help is to get kids into education. What a difficult time Kenyan parents have in educating, the difficulty that children have in getting a decent education, even once they're sort of in a system where there aren't enough resources, teachers don't show up in the classroom all the time, textbooks are scarce. And this sort of led to that. And as you know, when God gets involved, then things grow in leaps and bounds that you could never have imagined. Mm-hmm. So today, I am the founder and president of an organization called ELIMU. ELIMU means education in Swahili, and that is what we focus on: education, training, entrepreneurship for the empowerment of children and youth. Today we run a center called ELIMU Resource Center. That's where Cynthia is sitting as we speak. And we help hundreds and hundreds of children at that center on a daily basis. We have 4 projects running, one that sponsors children to stay in school, the ELIMU Resource Center I've just mentioned, our sewing project, which takes vulnerable young women from the rural communities and gives them income generating skills, gives them a sewing machine, helps them start their own businesses. And we've established a small school that is run by the local community, Upendo School. We help them to put that building up and make it happen.
Awesome. Woo, you've been doing quite a great stuff. We spoke. Now, folks, I have to tell you, Nina is no stranger to SPRLIVEFM.com or Streaming Praise Radio, as we normally say, streamingpraiseradio.com. But we also have Cynthia. Cynthia, tell us a little bit about you, what it is that you're doing.
Thank you so much, Humphrey. I'm glad to be on this interview. I feel like I'm in Canada right now.
You don't want to be, trust me. It's cold.
It's cold.
Then we are thankful. I came to ELIMU Resource Center as a volunteer, as an intern, first of all. I was fresh from campus. And then after my internship, I was given an opportunity to do volunteering work. I love being here, and I love the opportunity that I was given, because when I came here, you see, when you're in campus, there is little skills, but there's a lot of learning. But now putting your skills into practice it's something that I didn't have the skills at part the way I would say like I had gained much. So when I came to Elimo Resource Center, I was given that opportunity. So I'm so much happy that I managed to bump into these beautiful here. We were absorbed so well. We were taken through some mentorship program. We were told how we were supposed to behave at work. Whenever we came with ideas, they were absorbed from a youth perspective. And we had a lot of resources that helped us, broaden our minds. I came to learn about so many things. Nowadays, I'm even a photographer, skills that I've learned from Elimu. And I'm so much happy to be here. And you see from that, from our ideas, from the growth that we had, I transited from being an intern to a volunteer, and now I was absorbed now as a staff. So I'm a staff at Elimu. So I'm in charge of communications. I'm the communications coordinator here at Elimu. I did communications and journalism at campus. So
Nice.
here
She's
we are
working in her field.
Nice. I saw on Twitter recently the young ladies were doing a program, and I wanted to know a little bit more about that program. So any one of you can go ahead and tell me about that program.
You're talking about the rag dolls?
The rag dolls, and I'm gonna put a view of pictures up so folks can see some of the stuff, and I think I have the ELIMU headquarters in there too as well. The was not convention center. What is it called again? The center.
ELIMU Resource Center.
Resource Center. There you go. ELIMU's Resource Center. So
yeah, it's a digital education learning center.
Right. So tell us about that.
Cynthia, I'll let you talk about rag dolls. You've just been there with the girls a couple of days ago, right?
Okay, so these girls amazing stories, Mr. Humphrey. These are girls from the rural areas, from the villages. When I talk about rural, I mean rural, like real, in the remote areas. Having roads that get to their places is a problem. They have difficulties. They are living in an absolute poverty. So these girls they come to a sewing school, which is called Perry Sewing School, and through Elimu, they are sponsored to get the sewing skills. So during the coronavirus period, everything was on a shutdown, total shutdown, and we want.
Oops, it looks like the internet is not so good
not
down
doing
there.
so
Let me
good
jump
down
in.
there yet. Okay.
And we were so scared to probably get married.
Yeah, we just
Am I
lost you for a
back?
few. Yeah, you're back. We just lost you for a few
you're back.
minutes.
You're back. Keep going.
Yeah. Okay. What I was saying is that we were scared of letting these girls go back home in as much as that was our only options because everything was coming to a total shutdown.
Mhm.
And we thought of ways that we could make them relevant. And the fact that we were doing sewing, and by then masks were on high demand, it was an opportunity for them now to exercise their skills. And we brought the second years back, there are very few. So uh, uh, having them there with the COVID-19 protocols was very much achievable. So we brought the girls back and they were doing the mask project, and they saw so many masks which were being sold to help curb the spread of coronavirus. So from there is when we thought, what next can we do? And the idea of having the drag doll project was born. So we had these girls get trained about doing the rag dolls. It was a whole lot of process. It wasn't an easy thing. It's not like we just started and that was the product that we have, whatever you just saw on Twitter. So we had to try, and we had like a number of prototypes, and most of them were not coming out so well. We did some dyeing. We wanted to have something that was African, so we had fabrics that we had to do some dyeing processes. These girls are taught some basic IT skills, so they know how to Google. We'll take laptops to them, we Google, we go to YouTube, we see how can we do this artificial dyeing process. So we took them through all that process.
Mhm.
And by the end of the day, we were able to come up with a rag doll. And these rag dolls were actually inspired by their stories of the struggles that they're going through. And now it's like they're making their little self. And these project basically was for fundraising purposes. So once we sell these dolls, the money that comes back is used to pay their school fees. So it is actually a method of fundraising, but it was a very, very brilliant idea because now they are working through their skills and they are getting funds that can help them, and maybe other girls also, it will get more funds that can go through the process. And once they're done with their school, they're normally given a sewing machine and they become entrepreneurs almost immediately. And I think that changes their lives. And they don't just, they now have a purpose, they have a business, and they can't just get married off and have nothing to do like that.
Awesome.
So,
Um,
yeah.
I want to remind the folks we're speaking to Nina Chung and Cynthia Amundi out of Kenya, and I think the city is Malindi.
That's right.
Okay, the city of Malindi. So we thank you guys.
Town.
And now there's a new project you're working on. Actually, before this coronavirus scenario that is happening, how did it affect ELIMU?
Wow.
Yeah, let me jump in there quickly and just say, so the main, it shut us down. So it was a disaster when it came in March, because what we are all about is education and learning and kids in school. So it sent all of the kids home and it forced us to shut down the resource center. Now that was the worst thing for us, because normally when schools are closed, that's when the kids are coming to us to the resource center. They want to look for their textbooks. They come and they get their hands on our Khan Academy, our mathematical tutorials. They get their hands on the videos for the novels that they're reading. So they do their extra learning, they do their homework, they do their remedial. And now they were home from school, needing to continue their learning, and we can't open up and we can't serve them. So we had to do a massive kind of reassessment. We had to readjust our thinking, and we had to really look at how can we remain relevant in this community. So we did a bunch of things. The very first thing we did, though, was look at the basics. These kids are home, their parents are shut down, nobody can go to work. And in Kenya, in poor communities, people are working from day to day, hand to mouth. So it's today's money that you've made that's putting food on the table. You got to shut down for 2 weeks because the government told you to go home. Mm-hmm. Well, you're not making that money to put the food on the table on a daily basis. So the first thing we did was step in with some food assistance for the families of the children we sponsor. Right. And we did that a couple of times. We had ongoing lockdowns after lockdown. So we stepped in, we did that in April, we did it in June. And the goal there was to help them cover food costs so that the parents could keep the rent going, so that nobody was going to get thrown out of their homes. But by September, things started to loosen up. The government allowed vocational training institutions to open, and that we put ourselves into that category, because we have something called a Cisco Networking Academy that we're running, and that is IT training for the community, especially for youth after high school. So that allowed us to open up now, and we were able to start taking at least our Cisco students back. The sewing college started to open again end of September. And we could start doing some engagement with the students face to face.
What is the Cisco's program?
So the Cisco program is a wonderful program that's designed by Cisco Systems in San Francisco. They give this over to institutions. It's something they've developed. It's an online platform. It has several layers of coursework, all the way from the very beginning. How do you open up your computer, turn it on, and make it work, to very high-end networking, network engineering courses. So we have been registered as an official Cisco supplier of those courses. We're the only ones in the whole Coast Province where we're based, at least in our Kilifi County. And it's very difficult to get decent IT skills where we are based. Even you'll take the course in high school and possibly never even really touch a working computer. Mm-hmm. So when they come to our center now, they get hands-on with the computers. It's how to work the computers. It's how to maintain and fix a computer. Take it apart, put it back together. You're actually an official technician with a Cisco certified with Cisco certification. You can take your little certification and show it to people, add it to your resume, and it's been helping young people to get jobs. It also helps them to figure out if they've got that love for IT in them, and some of them then decide to go on to further studies in that area.
Awesome. Nina, I don't know how to say this, but you have been doing a fantastic job over these last 10 years, has it been?
It's 16 years
16,
since I went in
woo!
2004 on that volunteer posting that sort of morphed into a charitable organization.
Wow,
Yes.
you've been doing a fantastic job, and to see the product of your hard labor, so to speak. Cynthia, who's with us. Cynthia, what is your thoughts of all of this? What is your next move from here? What are you planning in the next 5 years?
Whoa.
I have so many plans, Mr. Humphrey. We want to grow and we want to empower the youth of Malindi, where we are based, Kilifi County, and even Kenya at large. So it is amazing that this interview is coming here today because this very day, ELIMU got an interesting opportunity to mobilize the youth in Malindi and Kilifi County because the government is thinking of how to come up with innovative hubs and how to have inclusivity for the youth across Kenya. And what is good about this is that when they came to Kilifi County, they thought about a ELIMU Resource Center. So I think I want that recognition to go beyond just Kenya and probably global, that we are doing great and we want to really empower so many youth. There was empowered. So yeah, 5 years to come, I want many Cynthias like me.
Awesome, awesome. The last time Nina and I spoke before coronavirus, my plans were to come down to Kenya because I've been to Kenya before. I've been to Bungoma. I went for a mission trip there from a personal mission trip, so to speak, kind of like Nina. Just went to see what happened, but I came back and just probably think, no, I don't want to take this on right now. But but after speaking to Nina, that fire got burning again, and I was supposed to return to Kenya to do a radio program from there and kind of introduce radio because you guys are so technically skilled. You guys got the stuff. So that was my thing. But coronavirus came in. So I'm waiting on God to do this. What in the meantime, what I want the folks to do that are listening to us on YouTube, tap into our YouTube channel, SPR Live, actually streamingpraiseradio.com, and subscribe if you possibly can. Subscribe. And again, we speaking to Nina and Cynthia. Nina is based right here, right now in Ottawa. Correct?
That's right. Right. That's right.
And Cynthia is in Kenya. I love technology. It just bring the world together. What time is it right now in Kenya?
It is 5:30 p.m. 5:31 to be precise.
Ah, man. Wow. And it's now 9:31. I think we're 7 hours ahead of us. You guys are 7 hours ahead of us. Something like 8 hours. Oh, yeah, that's right. 8 hours ahead. Cynthia, I'm looking forward to coming to Kenya when all this is over. And I'm looking forward not just going to Bungoma, but coming to where you guys are at, because I promised Nina that I will do that. Hopefully it will happen sooner than later. And remember, I need you guys to check out elimu.ca. Elimu.ca. Check out all the wonderful stuff that is going on there as well. Again, if you can, subscribe to our channel, Instagram, SPR Live is the Instagram, as well as streamingpraiseradio.com is streamingpraiseradio.com is our YouTube page. I'm reading stuff here at the same time that my folks are sending me. Any last words, Nina, before we go?
Well, we have kids going back to school. Canada's up and down. In Kenya, children are back in school, and ELIMU Resource Center has been able to open. We want to be there for our children this year. So let me just remind everybody that elimu.ca is also a place where you can make a donation if you'd like to contribute to our work. We're really trying to put some more textbooks into our center. Not everything is available on e-format, so we need to buy some proper old paper textbooks. Would love some help with that. And we always need help with school fees. So elimu.ca will get you through to our project information and an opportunity to contribute to our efforts.
Cynthia?
Yeah, for me, I think it's just thank everyone that supports ELIMU. We are doing a great job. Personally, I'm a beneficiary of ELIMU, And so I would really encourage each and everyone who's listening right now to give us any kind of support that they feel they can offer. So please visit our website, see the wonderful job that we are doing, and bless us with whatever kind of blessing you'd love to give to ELIMU. Thank you.
Thank you guys so much for this morning. I appreciate you guys very much for joining us right here on my show, the Praise Life Morning Show, on streaming Praise Radio or SPRLIVEFM.com, and we also broadcast through Fun City Radio FM and Success Radio as well, which is on radio, but this morning it's on streaming Praise Radio .com YouTube page. And again, subscribe if you possibly can, and check us out on Instagram, SPRLIVEFM. Thank you so much, guys. I'm looking forward to talking to you soon.
Thanks, Claremont. Have a great day. God
You
bless.
too. God bless. Bye-bye. That is the folks from ELIMU. Man, I've been speaking to Nina, and I was hoping to get across to Kenya this year, but we'll wait. As we get ready to bring in